Hi everyone, this is David Michael Creel. I wanted to just give you a Striki School update. First of all, on behalf of Striki School and myself, I want to say thank you for the many prayers you've sent our way. Believe me, the last 2.5 months we could not have dealt with what we had to deal with without the prayers of the people. So thank you so much. Just to give you a little recap about Striki School, since 2001, Striki School has been offering morning devotions and Christian education. This was started by Daina, who was challenged by the local pastor in Saldus, who asked, why don't we have a Christian school in our city? Well, Daina heard the call and began to implement Christian education and morning devotions. So for 12 years, we've been doing that. And in 12 years, we haven't had any complaints from the parents or the students. If anything, many of the parents liked that the students were, well, acting differently. In fact, Striki School began to have a reputation that we were a Christian school. And so even though we're out in the middle of the country, we actually get students from the city of Saldus and surrounding cities. So it draws in kids from all over our region. Well, the commissioning board who oversees all the school in Latvia, although they gave our school a high mark that we were doing a lot of good for the kids, being that we're teaching them in progressive ways and the teachers think outside the box and that the kids were well behaved, they were against the idea of having morning devotions in school and for Christian education to be taught past the 3rd grade. The other thing they didn't like was that a foreigner, which would be me, was on campus, and even though he's an ordained minister, which I am, but not a licensed teacher, which I'm not, they didn't like the idea that I was teaching students. So that caused another whole set of problems. So for the couple of weeks, we had to go back and forth, and I had to get a lot of tests done and background checks done to prove that I wasn't a criminal and I wasn't this or wasn't that, and it was pretty crazy. And even after all the paperwork was turned in and everything was clear and they saw that I was a legit pastor and that I didn't, have no background record of anything. I mean, not even a ticket in America or in Latvia, it still wasn't good enough for them. They said, you have to be a licensed teacher. The thing is, if I was to become a licensed teacher, I also have to speak fluent Latvian, which I don't. The language is very hard, and with my learning disabilities, it's really tough to learn. It might take me a couple of years before I even get the language down. Daina went to meet with the school commissioning board this past week, and after hearing what they had to say and sharing her point of view, they fined her 60 lots, which is $120, because she had Christian's devotions in the morning for the last 12 years. They were going to fine her 300 lots, which would be roughly $600, but she argued it down to 60 lots. So after the meeting, they told her she can no longer have Christian devotions in the morning, and Christian education has to stop after 3rd grade. This has upset the parents and the staff and the kids. Many of the parents actually send their kids to Striki School because they feel and think it's one of the best schools in the area, plus there is a school that has Christian principles. So where do we stand now? Well, one of the ideas is actually to change the status of Striki School from a public school to a Christian school. Of course, if we do that, we can do Christian devotions, and then I can also be back on campus because they would need a pastor to be on campus. But we don't know how long that would take or all that process that goes into changing the status of a school. And even if we change the status of the school, the teachers that are there now would still be able to work with us because somehow here in Latvia, even public teachers that are paid by the government can work at a Christian school. But again, I do not know the laws of this land, so I have no idea what is what. But at this time, I'm not at the school. Many of the kids are upset. Many of the parents are upset. It was surprising to meet with Daina and says, you really have a strong support group, David Michael, she said. A lot of the parents are really upset. They don't like what's going on. They think this is wrong and bogus because you've been one of the best things that have happened in our school. In fact, recently, Daina met with the local pastors of Saldus as she asked, how can we turn this into Striki School from a public school to a Christian school? And the Catholic priest stood up and said, well, what you need is 3 more David Michaels and then you'll be on your way, because just what he's done so far has made a lot of difference. The thing is, I haven't done anything. The only thing I've done in that campus is love each and every one of those kids. Be there for them, listen to them. Sometimes I'm a big brother, sometimes I end up being like a father to some of these kids. But that's all I've done. I've not taken the Bible and shoved it down their throat. I've not screamed at them or preached sermons at them. I just lived my faith in action. And apparently that was enough to make changes. In the last 3 years, I've seen dramatic changes in Striki School. In fact, a lot of people have. So where do we stand now? Well, we're still fighting. We're not sure what's going to happen next, but I'll keep you posted. But until then, thank you so much for praying for us, and keep praying for us as we seek the Lord for wisdom and what we need to do next. The other question that comes up is, well, if you're not at school anymore, are you going to be leaving Latvia and coming back to America? The answer is no. Striki School is not the only reason why I came to Latvia. God called me to be based in Latvia, not only for Striki School, but He also blessed me with a family, with Christoph and Riga, my Halashini, as well as ministry at St. Gregor's Mission Center, as well as the ministry I've been doing already in the States. He's now doing it here, has allowed me to travel all over Europe now. Until I hear otherwise from the Lord, Latvia is my home. And so, that's where I stand with that. So that's it for now. That's the update. Again, thank you for your prayers. If you have any questions or comment, please feel free to contact me through Facebook at facebook.com/DavidMichaelCarrillo, or my email at gentlewindmusic@yahoo.com. Again, thank you so much for all your prayers. I'll keep you posted when I learn what's coming up next. Take care. God bless.